You wake up, not to an alarm, not to a notification, not to a calendar full of meetings. You wake up because the sun is rising, and for almost all of human history, that was how a day began. When most people imagine ancient humans, they picture constant struggle, endless hunting, running from predators, fighting to survive every waking moment. But the real answer is far stranger. Your ancestors did not spend every hour working. In fact, many anthropologists believe they often had more free time than modern office workers. So what did ancient humans actually do all day? The day usually began slowly. Small groups would wake together, fires would be rekindled, children would play nearby. People would talk. A lot. Conversation was one of humanity's oldest technologies. Long before writing, stories carried knowledge across generations. Information about animals, seasons, plants, dangers, and distant places moved through spoken words. Then came food gathering. Contrary to popular belief, hunting was not always the main activity. In many hunter-gatherer societies, a large portion of daily calories came from gathered foods. Fruits, nuts, tubers, seeds, honey. The famous anthropologist Richard Lee studied the Ju-Ihwanzi people of southern Africa and found that gathering often provided the majority of their food. That changes the picture completely, doesn't it? Instead of constant dramatic hunts, many days involved walking through familiar landscapes, collecting resources, sharing information, and returning home. Of course, hunting still mattered, but hunting was often unpredictable. Sometimes a hunt lasted hours, sometimes days, sometimes it failed completely. Success depended on teamwork. Humans evolved as intensely social creatures. Your ancestors survived not because they were the strongest animals on Earth, but because they cooperated better than almost any other species. A successful hunter rarely kept everything. Food was shared. Anthropologists have found evidence of food sharing across many hunter-gatherer societies. If one person succeeded today, another person might succeed tomorrow. The group survived together, and that social bond shaped the human mind you carry today. By midday, daily life continued with dozens of small tasks. Tools needed repair, clothing needed maintenance, fires needed fuel, shelters needed attention. Children learned by watching adults. There were no classrooms. Learning happened everywhere. A child might learn tracking while walking beside an older hunter. Another might learn edible plants from a parent or grandparent. Knowledge was not separated from life. Life was the classroom. Researchers such as Kim Hill and other anthropologists studying traditional societies have repeatedly observed how much learning happens through participation rather than formal instruction. But perhaps the biggest surprise is how much time people spent simply being together. Talking, laughing, telling stories, singing, dancing, sharing experiences around a fire. For thousands of generations, these activities were not entertainment added to life, they were life. Robin Dunbar, known for his work on social bonding, argues that conversation and storytelling helped maintain large human social groups. In other words, social connection was not optional, it was survival. As evening approached, people gathered again. Food was divided, stories returned. The events of the day became lessons for the future. A dangerous animal became a warning, a successful hunt became a strategy, a strange observation became knowledge passed to the next generation. Then darkness arrived. Without electric lights, the world changed dramatically after sunset. The fire became the center of attention. Faces glowed in the light. Voices carried through the night. And somewhere in those conversations, humans slowly built culture itself. Not in cities, not in offices, not in universities, around countless fires beneath countless stars. So what did ancient humans actually do all day? They gathered food, they searched for opportunities, they cared for children, they repaired tools, they shared resources, they learned, they taught, and above all, they connected with one another. Because the story of human survival was never just about hunting or gathering, it was about relationships. And even today, beneath smartphones, schedules, and modern technology, your brain still carries the expectations of those ancient days. The need for connection, the need for purpose, the need to belong. You wake up to alarms now instead of sunlight. But deep down, the rhythms of your ancestors are still there.